Hey everyone, Michelle here from Scrappy Soul Sister, and it is that time. It is layout share. So these layouts are from September and October, and it feels like it's a really high stack, but mainly because there's a lot of dimensional elements, and so I wasn't like hugely prolific in September and October. We had some vacations, and then I've kind of stepped back a little bit on some of my scrapbooking commitments. I was finding that I was being like super critical of myself, and that doesn't always help you find your joy in your hobby, right? And I'm a bit of a I worked for 30 plus years in retail, and so I'm a bit of a pleaser, I have discovered, when it comes to commitments and such, and I want to do the best that I can. But on the other hand, it's a creative process, and I find myself second guessing things a lot. So long story short, I am really focusing on my work with My Creative Scrapbook and then doing YouTube hops until I find myself in a place where I am kinder to myself. And so you won't see quite as many layouts, but hopefully I will enjoy what I am working on maybe a bit more than I was previously. So all that being said, here are my layouts. Now, these ones that I'm going to start with are for My Creative Scrapbook. I did them in October, but they will be released in November. And so some of them you might have seen, some of them might not have the videos out yet, but they are all attached in my unboxing video. And so here we go. This one, a collection of moments, of observations from this day, nature, so a variety of different title options, right? But this is using that November limited edition kit, and that kit is full of Curiosities in Willow Grove by Vicki Booten and 49 and Market. It was a real pleasure to work with. I believe every layout I'm going to share with you has a video. So if I won't mention it from here on out, you'll just know the videos are there. If I come across one that I think, oh, maybe I don't have a video for this one, I will let you know. So the pictures are from the Redwoods. My husband and our puppy Delilah and I were there in September, and these trees are just so huge. So this is a picture of my husband down here, and look how big this tree is. Oh my gosh, so huge. And so with this, I did quite a bit of mixed media down here. I layered up the trees over here, and then I also colored some of the flowers that came in the November limited edition kit. All in all, one of my favorite layouts of the month to work on. And then I have this one from that same November limited edition kit. And one of the things I really like about this kit is how versatile it is. So depending on what you want to accomplish, you can pull the different elements. So the last page showed a lot of the florals, butterflies, etc. On this layout, I focused more on the fall leaves, the mushrooms, that type of thing. And so I really love this background piece as well. I didn't do a whole lot of mixed media. I just did a little bit of stenciling here and here, and then some splatters. This is based on the sketch for November. And then this centerpiece is the cut file that is available to you if you purchase kits through My Creative Scrapbook. So the pictures are of a crop that we do up at Mount Baker. From Mount Baker, you can see Mount Shuckson, and that's the mountain that is in the background there. So I love this layout. I don't know if it's because I love the picture so much, But I do love how it came out as well. And so a picture of Delilah sleeping there on my husband's chest. And I really like this background. It's really different. And so I liked, just using the page as is, other than just a little bit of color behind where I did my circle elements. Now this circle element is that same lattice circle cut file that was in the previous layout, but I just sized it down and colored it with a variety of different inks, and then created some little clusters. I also used some frills on the flowers. These flowers came in the kit, but I colored them. They were originally ivory. So look at her little, have you seen a cuter nose than that? She's the best. So, and here she is again. And so this was my first November layout. There is, sometimes this is probably one of the pages that I'm like, would I have done it differently if I wasn't putting, a bit of pressure on myself, because I love doing mixed media, but I think maybe I did a bit too much. But neither here nor there. I really love the concept of the page, the strike a pose. These pictures are of Delilah, just using some fun filters with my camera. Here's a little glamour shot, another one with a little mock neck, and then this is a oil painting. So it was just really fun to play with my camera. And then I really love this stencil as well. This is from my stash. So yeah, so those are all of my kits using November. And so here we have the October limited edition kit. And so that kit had a lot of, it was a real mixture. It had a lot of simple stories, but it also had quite a bit of 49 and Market. And then I believe it was Photoplay, a couple of Photoplay papers. And so this is the sketch. And so I used a lot of the 49 and Market embellishments. I can't remember, the flowers might have come like that. I think they did. And then I created my leaves just out of mixed media. These pictures are of a friend of mine, her grandson, looking super cute, picking up leaves. So, and then a lot of mixed media down through here. So this, actually, you would not see a YouTube video for this one, because I did it for a crop or a YouTube hop, and then I never signed up for the hop, and I didn't finish it in time to do it anyway. And so so this is just a layout that I did. And so it is of that same trip where we went to the Redwoods. We also went to Crater Lake in Oregon. And so here I just did a bunch of mixed media. I used a dot stencil, did a variety of different colors with Lindy's, and then I also used some dots through here with some Nuvo drops and a little film strip. This is, I believe, Bramble Fox. So yeah, just a fun layout to put together. The paper and the embellishments, I believe, are from a Not Just for Boys kit. I just don't remember which one it was. So yeah, so that one is just a for me page, I guess. Now this one is for that same crop, that mountaintop crop, but this one is focusing more on the people. So because this is the last year that we did this crop. And so here's a picture of everyone who was there that weekend, and going to really have to figure out a way that we can all get together in the future. But I did this layout for the YouTube sketch hop that I participate in with some of my girlfriends. And so this is based on a sketch that one of, I think it might have been Jessica, found. around. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a little while now. And so I did hand stitch, buffalo stitch on my hexagons. And this collection is Nature's Haven by 49 and Market. So this is using the My Creative Scrapbook October kit, but this was a bonus layout I did. And so this was for, I believe, now I'm thinking, I think it might have been the Color Rush hop, YouTube hop, because there's a lot of orange. I think that's what it was. So orange was the color of the month. And so I did some mixed media down here to add just a little bit more pinks and purples. And what else did I do? Some of this mixed media through here. This little stamp is from my stash. And then some embellishments. This Gather Falling Leaves is from the My Creative Scrapbook kit, 49 and Market rub-ons that were in the kit. And then these leaves were from my stash. So, and these pictures are of my friend Stacy. I believe that was in Durango. So, and more pictures of Stacy. So when I got my fall kit, I put out the call to my friends saying, hey, I don't have any fall pictures. Can you help me out? And Stacy and a couple of my other girlfriends really stepped up for me. And so here she is. I believe this is still in Durango. This is using the My Creative Scrapbook limited edition kit from October. This is a Simple Stories paper. I just gessoed the whole thing and used some alcohol inks. And so you can see the process because there is quite a bit of layers I did. So you can see that on my YouTube channel. I also used prills in here, and I just use Vicki Boutin matte acrylic gel to adhere those, and it did really well as far as drying without showing a lot of adhesive, so I was really happy with that. So here is the first layout I did with that kit, and so this is my friend Melina and her family. I used alcohol inks on this as well. Now this particular layout, I have a video, but some of the steps I had some issues filming, and so I talked through a lot of the things that I did, but it is, if you want to see the alcohol ink process, I would look at the other layout that I just did. I would look at that one first. So, but still very fun. I love these little 49 and Market embellishments. These are Simple Stories, I believe, embellishments. You receive some leaves with the kit. And if any of these limited edition kits that I talk about, if you're interested in them and it is past that month, you're always welcome to email Pam and see if they're still available. A lot of things, do sell out, but I know right now with the way tariffs are, there aren't quite as many international customers for some of our favorite kits and stuff. So they might have some available. So, and I think this is the final layout I did with that kit. My friend Misty here in Spokane, Washington is where these pictures are from. The Fall Fun was the cut file that came with that month. And this pie-shaped circle, I also got that cut file off of the My Creative Scrapbook site. If you have ordered a kit, then you have access to those cut files. You just use the drop down under add-on kit and you'll see cut file members, and you can just click there and enter your password. So I did do just a little bit of mixed media. I just did some pink behind the circle just to create a bit of a shadow for that. And then I did stencil on some white. And then, yeah, I think that is about it for that one. Now this one is also my friend Melina and her husband. They were, I can't remember where they were that Thanksgiving. Now this one was doing a live over at My Little Scrapbook. I can't remember, I might have moved this over to my personal channel as well. And so this one, I just created circles. I just used Tim Holtz distress pencils and just added water and kept drawing circles and adding more water and color until I had it, the circle the way I wanted it. I did some splatters and then I added some more pink. Now this is the stencil butter. And so it's a pretty bright color, but it works really well with the other intense colors in that kit. This was 49 and Market Spice Collection. So this was for a challenge. This was for the Iron Crafters YouTube hop. And the challenge was to use 50 or more enamel dots. And so my fingernails are a little bit shorter than they have been, but still the idea of like picking up 50 some enamel dots just scared me. And so I don't know, let me hold it up. I just cut out rows of enamel dots. I left them on the plastic and then I adhered the plastic to the layout. I used a stencil to put these colors down first. I then sewed and then adhered colors. And so when it is in a sleeve, you can't even tell there was plastic there. So I really liked how it came out. I really liked how easy I did the enamel dots. This is a picture of my daughter and I when we were in Disneyland in June. This is a Bramble Fox perspective. And then I built my little clusters. I'm trying to remember. This might be, I should have written it on the back, but it might be Vicky Bouton Where to Next. Kind of has that look. So now this layout I really love. And so it is based on a sketch because this is the YouTube sketch YouTube hop that I participate in. And so the sketch was obviously, you know, diamonds coming down here and then the blocks. This in the sketch, it was a circle, but I decided to use the hexagon instead so that I could use this Botanical Buzz collection. I did a lot of mixed media on the back. You can see that whole process on my YouTube channel. And then I added sequins as well. So lots of fun. My daughter and I were at these falls with a long name that I'm not going to try to say in front of y'all. But this was by Mount Hood when we were headed to pick up Delilah there in Central Oregon. And here's my girl. Look at that. I love this picture. My nephew was dog sitting for us and he sent it to me. And so this layout is kind of a companion layout for a layout that I have with Cosmo, who was our precious pup before he passed away. I don't know, it's almost 2 years ago. It's crazy. And so I believe this was from Color Rush, and it was using your favorite color combinations. So for me, that is that tealish with a kind of a corally orangish red. And I offset it. So it had a white background. I sewed around here. I did just some white mixed media, just real simple. and added some white splatters. Other than that, I just did a bunch of layering with some elements. These white flowers on vellum, I just have some of those in my stash. I just do a bunch of them at a time so I can add them to layouts where I feel like I need just a little bit of white. So, and then this layout is, I'm trying to remember it. I believe it is a Mix It Up Monday. It's either that or Iron Crush or Iron Crafters, but I'm pretty sure it is Mix It Up Monday. And so it was based on a sketch. And so the sketch had the 3 panels. But I wanted to do some mixed media, and I wanted that mixed media to show. And so what I did was some alcohol inks behind here. That's where you see the blue down in here, and then up in here, that's all alcohol ink. And then I took 3 different flavors of acetate. So I have striped, and then I have one with a triangle pattern, and then one with dots. And then I just edged it with picked raspberry paint. And that is what I use for my panel. So you could still like see through it and see the mixed media. I also did just a little bit of grungy brick and some splatters in here as well. And then all of this is Flower Emporium from Vicki Boutin and 49 in Market, as is this up here. Now these 2 little pieces, I think those are from a wood paper pack that I have of what is that called? Wood veneer or wood paneling, or you know what I'm talking about. I'll think about it as soon as I end this video. This Beauty is Everywhere is a rub-on, and then this Summer is a thickers that I had in my stash. This Something Wonderful here is from that same rub-on group. So that's it. That is all of my layouts in September and October, and so we'll see what happens in November and December. I will definitely do my creative scrapbook, those 8 layouts, and then I have signed up for 3 or 4 different YouTube hops, and so we'll see if I end up doing more than that. But I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and if you have ever felt like you felt too hard on yourself, or that you've been too critical of yourself, if you have some stories on how you've escaped that, then drop it in the notes, because I think that it's important we learn from each other. So I will talk to you on my next video. Thanks for popping in, and have a great day. Thank you, everyone.